What is up, everybody? It's me, Izzy, and we're about to start the show in a few minutes, about 3 minutes away. I see you guys in the chat. It's going to be a fun show. We got some good stuff, and there might be more than one giveaway today, so be on the lookout. I'll see you guys in the future.
have a couple things I need to say. I got Purell on hand because everybody here are disgusting, knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing, inbred morons, and I literally cannot wait to get the out of here. My name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I'm better than you and you know it. I'm sorry that this guy is your host. He is a bumbling idiot.
Look at that. All that. See how he talks to me? He mutes my microphone, all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, what's going on? It's me, Izzy. Welcome to the show today. We got a really good show lined up for the day. We got a great guest for you guys. And like I said before, we might be giving more than one giveaway today. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. But in the meantime, let's bring out our guest. So as always, we got to welcome him to the party. What is up, Shawn? How you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, first question of the day. Die Hard, Christmas movie or not?
Absolutely a Christmas movie.
Every guest must answer that question. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great, This is a nice break from entering in variants into the system all day, so it's
yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. So before we talk a little bit about what you do, because they might be new to who you are, Shawn. Let's go ahead and take this opportunity and just say what's up to some of the people in the chat, and then we'll introduce you proper into the mix. So with us, as always, Las Cruces makes the house. Now, here's something I can tell you about Las Cruces. Las Cruces makes it an effort to be the first person to put a comment, as well as the second person. But someone always tries to creep in to become the third, and that's Scotty Vaughn. I said Scotty Young. I'm thinking Scotty Young. Look at that. All that Scotty Young thought is my head. But Scotty Vaughn, who's going to have a phenomenal guest today. He's got Trish Forster, the co-creator of Stray Dogs, and now it's going to be launching Feral. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. But we also have Comic Verse Tony. He just celebrated 300 subscribers. So Tony's in the house with the Rat Pack. We also see he's washing dishes. I don't know how long he's going to wash dishes for. How long does it usually take to wash dishes? It depends how many dishes, right? What do you think, Shawn?
a
lot of dishes, right? Joffrey Castro is Izzy time. You know it. Here's a good friend of mine, Fred Gago. I haven't seen you in a bit. He's out there too. He's over in California from last I checked. You're out in Colorado. So Kenneth Bird's in the house. Brian LCS. Now, Brian, myself, and the Comic Vet, this Saturday, we are going to give away our big books from the giveaway membership that we were doing for the last 2 months. So I'm so excited. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's see. Collecting with Durst is in the house, lurking as always, the true Rat Pack. Samuel, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. And of course, Cliff on Comics. What's going on, Cliff? Love you, bro. All right. That's the chat for the time being. I'm sure more people will be jumping in as we go. But Shawn, tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit about Overstreet Access.
So I'm a longtime comic collector and app developer as well. And I actually I've been working with Gemstone and the guys over at Diamond for about the past 4 years, putting together a digitized version of the Overstreet Price Guides. We call it Overstreet Access. We've got a full database of cross-reference comic knowledge, of course, Overstreet prices, and we have a full collection management system as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you've been collecting comics. How long you been collecting comic books for, Shawn?
On and off for maybe 30 years.
So you're like me. We've been doing it a long time, right?
Well, I took a pause. When I was raising my daughter, and most of my money was going to, supporting my child instead of supporting my habit. And
it's terrible.
Yeah.
We got Joseph Michaels, the Avengers Joe. What's up? Circumstances. He was my guest the other week, last week. All right. Cover price. See how integration sucks. Please save me. We'll talk a little bit about that, Marcus. So with that said, you know what? Why don't we get started now? And let's see here. We're gonna start off with a giveaway. What do you think? Right. So as part of today goes, we're gonna be giving go, Shawn. Actually, you let them know what we're giving away on your end, because I know what I'm giving away on my end.
So we've got a couple of gold subscriptions, lifetime gold subscriptions to Overstreet Access. Gives you full access to everything in the system, up to 5 different collections. You get the app, you get the cover scanner, you get everything.
Yeah. So how many we're giving away today?
We're gonna do 5 today.
We're gonna do 5 today. So we're gonna be doing it throughout. So the first one we're gonna do is the early bird one. So let's get an early bird giveaway stream, and I'm gonna just do that. And this one's gonna be early bird. So let's go get your hashtags early birds out right now. All right, and here it is. Bam. So let's start this off right. We're gonna start with early bird. We'll do 2. We'll do 2 right now. All right. So the first 2, and again, if you have it already, I don't think it's gonna work anymore. But if you have it, that's it. So we got some early birds already here. Look at everybody's like throwing in the early birds, right? We'll do the first 2. I see a couple of people that jumped in. You got Comic Caps Collectible. That's Rich, my boy. He's in the house. Ryan Riley's also in the house. See, Couching with Slouching is in the house. And there you go. And he stopped from doing the dishes to make sure he got that hashtag early bird in there. All right, let's do this. We got 10 in, 16 people watching. Let's go ahead and do this. So our first entry, first winner of the day is going to be Comic Verse. Tony, congratulations. So Tony's going to be our first one. So Tony, hit me up and DM me just to remind me, because I have a terrible brain when it comes to some of these things, and I'll make sure Shawn gets that information so we can get it out to you. All right. So that's our first winner. Let's do our second winner. Okay. So our second winner is going to be, let's see here. Marcus, we saved you, my man. So we'll get these things out to you guys. So Tony and Marcus, you are the early bird winners. We still have 3 more to go, and we're going to be doing the comic book giveaway. So this is going to be a fun time today. So let's go back over here. And you ready to talk some comics?
Yeah.
Let's do this. So let's get the specking going. And with that said, so we got to get the specking going. It's all right. We're going to start it off strong, man. Next question I have for you. I did ask you this question before, but I want to know if it has changed since then. Did you get a chance to see the X-Men animated series, the new one?
No, unfortunately, I have not. My girlfriend's just left on a 2-week trip to Japan, and I've been,
oh wow.
Yeah, I had to promise on pain of death and castration to not watch that until she got back. So
she's making you wait.
Yeah, so I'm working my way through the original 5 seasons.
So we got End of Zed in the house. What's going on? Damn, I need to watch this just so I can win. Now everybody's gonna get their dishes up, right? I see Rad Art and Comics is in the house. That's my boy Norrin Rad. I prefer Norrin Rad. I still prefer Norrin Rad over Rad Arts and Comics, man. He changed the name. So, all right. Well, episode 2, without giving too much spoilers away, because I don't want to spoil it for you. Episode 2 was hot, and it had a lot to do with this comic book. So, what I'm not spoiling from the trailers is that Xavier handed all his possessions to Magneto. Why? Beats me. But in this comic, they utilize the same costume, and it's the trial of Magneto, where in the cartoon, they're taking tropes from this series. Yep, there you go. Taylor Winden, you just missed it, man. Taylor Winden's in the house. Spec time. Yeah, he is he loves spec. Taylor loves to spec. This book is extremely hot right now. In fact, it's number 1 on a lot of the lists today. What's your thoughts on this book? Because I actually have a copy. I think I have 2 copies of this book. Do you remember when this came out back in the day?
Unfortunately, I do. And when I started collecting again, one of the first things I did, because a lot of my comics had ended up in my mom's garage and stuff like that, and vanished across the years. I actually went into an LCS out in New Hampshire when I was out there, and just bought 3 long boxes of X-Men, just to give me a start on on filling some gaps and getting some new books. But this is one of the first ones that I pulled out of that box. But yeah.
We got a new guy in the house. I've never heard of this person, but it's Meatwad number 1. Good evening. What's going on, Meatwad? I love it. I'll sell you this. You see, Taylor, he's all about the spec. He's already trying to sell the book for $95, even though we have a high of $20. And side note, Professor X is the worst X-Men of all time. Is that true?
I don't know if I buy that.
Well, he is the X-Men. Like, they're named after him, technically. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Xavier's man, even though he doesn't.
He's been problematic throughout the series, for sure.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call him the worst X-Men.
So I have to ask you, bringing that up, I've tried to stay away from spoilers for the series, but I have seen so much crap given to Morph. What is the deal with the new Morph?
Okay, so it is the dumbest thing you've ever heard. Of course, it's taking something to the next level, right?
Sure.
So what the situation around Morph is that in the show he's going to be considered non-binary. All right. However, in the show they make no reference of it. The only way we find out about this, and this is where it gets dumb, is that so one of the things they did, they recreated the opening credits as well as the closing credits. So if you recall from the original X-Men cartoons, at the end credits they had like the profiles, and they would kind of like spin around with what their powers are and things like that. So when it gets to Morph, it says there instead of he.
That's the only place they put it.
That's it.
Look, he's a shapeshifter, so I totally get that, but I don't know.
But that's where it's at. So, Morph is my new favorite. Call him Mr. Now Morph he is awesome. Like the last 2 episodes, the way he is in the show is like, I'm shocked Wolverine hasn't tried to kill him yet. That's how good Morph is, because that's all he's doing is just busting Wolverine's chops in the whole season so far, the 2 episodes that we have. But this one is taking that out, that outfits. Now, I was watching the cartoon and I'm looking at this costume that Magneto's wearing, and I'm saying to myself, even then, there's something up with this costume. I don't know. It's just a big giant M, and it's like, I want to see this costume in live action, because he has sleeves all the way up. You know what I'm saying? It's just a ridiculous costume. What's going on? Mark is in the house. What's up, Legion? Right. So I don't know. Weird costume, but I like it, the little scarf thing, and they did it justice in the cartoon, so I'm good with that. All right, our next book is another big surprise in the list. SpiderMan Noir number 1. This is the first appearance of SpiderMan Noir, and what's really cool about this is that word just got out that Nicolas Cage will reprise the role. So there's a lot of it's confirmed that Nicolas Cage will be the live action Spider-Man Noir. Which, sure, why not?
I'm down with that for sure.
So that's pretty cool. I'm happy for it. I'm happy. I got my copy of this book. I'm really happy. So I'm happy this book has stoked. So Spider-Man Noir is one of my personal favorites from all the Spider-Man that came out, because he is different from the rest, and he has that, that swagger about him, and of course the black and white and all that fun stuff. So $180, not bad, right?
We've got that at 120. So there's some good movement with the speculation of the, and the movie news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this has been a pretty solid book. I think that's probably last year's number 2. So
yeah. And explain to me why the pricing is, the structure in Overstreet's a little different than pretty much what Key Collector, because Key Collector is basing it off of final sales or stuff like that?
So we do the same thing, but Overstreet is, you know, notoriously conservative as far as a lot of our prices go, because we base that off of documented sales through auction houses, through LCSs, all that kind of stuff, and our Overstreet advisors report those sales back to us. But it's more of prolonged and sustained value over time, as opposed to day-to-day auction activity, you know, on eBay. There's a lot of different things that can go into determining what a price for, you know, a book is, just based upon sold and completed listings. You have nefarious, you know, auctions up there where people are putting books up, you know, higher than they're worth, you know, hoping to maximize their profit, or you get guys bidding up books and winning auctions, and it's not necessarily representative of an actual overhaul sustained value for that book. It's more of kind of like it's a good indicator of current supply and demand, but at the same point, there's so much fluctuation, especially when a book goes up because of, you know, an MCU casting rumor or something like that. So you'll see these books spike up for like 3 months and then come straight back down. Or you get convention variants where, you know, somebody grabs a convention exclusive and they run out, and they have it on eBay within an hour. Well, the convention's still going on, and now it's a $300 book, but then 3 weeks later it's down to a, you know, an $80 book or something like that. So
So we got 2 comments in. I'll start with this one from Mark. He said, I really want to love the Overstreet All Access. It has to catch up, though. The digital reflects the annual book's price. Got to be more real time. But you're pretty much explaining.
And that, you know what, that's, you know what, my response to that is that's fair. One of the things that we're doing right now, you know, there's always been kind of a limited amount of books that go into Overstreet and get those valuations on a year-to-year basis, just simply because of the fact that you can only cram so many books into that large, you know, Bible every year. So, you know, what we're doing here is we're going through, and especially with variants, is we're doing revamped pricing on that. So right now the pricing team is finishing up this year's book, and so that's going into print, you know, in a couple of months here. And then they're going to be turning their attention back into all the variants. A lot of independent titles, so many independent titles that don't necessarily get FaceTime in the book. And so you'll start seeing, as the year goes, that we're going to start doing more regular pricing updates. And a lot of it depends upon, you know, when the advisors give us the, you know, their sales data and stuff back for us to do that. But the goal here is not necessarily to do, you know, a schedule like bi-weekly or monthly, you know, price updates or anything like that, but responding to the market in a way that we can look at, you know, the movement of a book on eBay or, you know, out there in the wild, and see whether or not an increase or a decrease in value is something that's sustained and needs to be documented. So you'll definitely start seeing a lot more activity in those.
Awesome. All right. So Nick, so before I get to the next book, so all Taylor Winder is saying is that he's saying all spec is done.
Okay. You're not wrong, Taylor. But, you know.
All right. So we got a new book here. Now, talking about spec books like that, right, is Star Wars The High Republic, issue number 7. This book came back in 2021. But the reason why this book is in this list, it features the first full appearance of Venestra Wall, which I could have butchered it. I don't care. It's Star Wars, so it doesn't matter to me. And we just saw a glimpse of this character in the new Acolyte trailer. So how big are you with Star Wars? Are you a big Star Wars person, or are you like?
I am.
I'm a more average Star Wars guy. I like.
I don't collect a lot of Star Wars comics. But you know, I grew up reading the books, and obviously, you know, the movies. That's definitely my genre there.
Apparently, someone doesn't like the High Republic. He's like, High Republic, boo. What's really cool about the Acolyte, I think, is it's one of the first series that we're going to see outside of really that Skywalker timeline, right? So it's going to be before, you know, Anakin, before everything else, and everything is going to be like, I think I forgot how many years far off. I know people in the chat would know, but it's supposed to be like hundreds or 1,000 years, you know, away. So the Old Republic guy. But right now is what they're saying is that this book is demanding $8. I take it. Do you have the Overstreet Price Guide for this one?
Yeah, we've still got that at cover 4.
You still got it in cover? Yeah, because it's relatively not a hot book. I guess it's hot now because of what's going on. So you're going to start seeing an uptick for it. All right. Next book here is another. Like, we talked a lot about X-Men. We're going to continue to talk a lot about X-Men. But I remember growing up in the 80s, it was X-Men on one end, Teen Titans on the other. Right? Because it was they were neck and neck with each other. So this book here, the new Teen Titans #1, first appearance of Ravager, Deathstroke's son, not in costume, but we also got the second team appearance and the origin of the new Teen Titan, which includes Starfire, Cyborg, Raven. I love this. Personally, I love this book. George Perez, Marv Wolfman. Were you growing up? Were you more of an X-Men or a Teen Titans person when you were doing your comics?
Honestly, I was more X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've grown older, I've learned to like the Teen Titans quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Over the past couple of years, and honestly, I think it's probably just because I raised a teenager and I have a little bit more empathy for characters, I guess. But yeah,
yeah. And to be completely honest with you, one of the things I did like about the Teen Titans is that they were allowed to grow. Mm-hmm. Right? They were Teen Titans, right? But they became Titans and afterwards. But these stories was really cool because one of the things that George Perez and Marv Wolfman were able to do during this series was pretty much do everything. It was action, it was fantasy, it was cosmic. They were able to put elements of all different types of genres into this one story because of the different characters that they had, which made it amazing to read, and it was awesome to read. And even issue number 2, we get Deathstroke, so which I think we're going to see that. So, reason why it's in this list, of course, it's the James Gunn effect. They're saying that they're interested in doing something with the Teen Titans. I'm at the point right now when it comes to all this James Gunn stuff. I gotta wait now. I want to see something. Get me the Superman.
We definitely have to see what he's gonna do. I mean, he's resting on his laurels with the Guardians and all that stuff, and he's great. He really is, and he's got such a wonderful opportunity to really reboot the DCEU. But and honestly, the bar's set pretty low. Mm-hmm. With a lot of their movies and stuff like that. But we'll see what he does with this. This book is kind of interesting. Overstreet's got it way higher than this.
Really?
Yeah. Let me look at this. I think we're sitting at 110 for a 9.2.
Wow, for a 9.2?
Yeah. This is probably last year's price.
The pricing that we see on these books, I think correct me around, they may be the raw price, where in Overstreet you have prices for different grades.
All Overstreet is raw right now. One of the things, and actually Legion was making some comments about this in the chat and I was responding, but one of the things where we'd like to go eventually, we're going to start looking, once we get all of our variants added, priced out, and we've added like 180,000 variants. So over the last 9 months, it's insane. I've done over 15,000 by hand since November in the system. It's not getting any easier. But what we're going to try and do with our pricing structure, I think that we're going to start looking into how we can offer some certified pricing too, and do that kind of side by side, and then some sort of acknowledgement of what the real-time kind of day-to-day market stuff is, which is kind of what most of the other online price guides are doing. That
like the Go Collects, the cover prices, pretty much.
And again, whereas it's not necessarily an indication of overall long-term like solid value, but we want to be able to put side by side something, so we may add a feature that says, oh, over the last 90 days, prices have averaged out to be.
And that's actually pretty cool, because that's something that I see with something like Go Collect, where you start seeing that grid where you see the graph chart saying prices gone up. Obviously in 2020 prices were going up and things like that. So that's a lot of variance.
And there's so many more. So every week it's we're going to end up with more variants than A covers. Like
Yeah, I think we've reached that point, haven't we?
Most of those, oh man, yeah. There's what was it? Thundercats 1 had 104 variants.
Why?
Yeah, and it's not the publisher's fault, you know. I mean, was a book where
I think it's a little bit of
so many shops went and got their own store covers. There's, you know,
but isn't it the publisher's fault because the publisher has control of that? I would say it's the publisher because the publisher is allowing this to happen.
What's more annoying to me as far as variants go is when a publisher puts out 35 variants, you know, themselves. You know, I like collecting store covers. You know, I like to, you know, my guys are jetpack out in New Hampshire, so I try and get all of theirs, which means I get a lot of Lost Planet ones too. You know, and it's.
I'm sorry, I'm looking.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip over my commentary on that, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So, you know, every Wednesday, you know, the list comes out, you know, the books come out. You get between 500 and 600 issues that are released a week. Less than 200 of those are A covers. Everything else is a variant. So we're putting out, you know, 2 to 3 times as many variants as they are actual issues of stuff. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Oh man. Our next book in this list is Star Wars High Republic #2. This is pretty much the trickle effect of the previous book we talked about. It's where we have the cameos and things like that. So this one we have it's obviously the price is trending high for the same reason as the Acolyte series. So there's not much to talk about here. It's just another book in that series. Now we're talking some more. We're back to X-Men goodness. And this is the first full appearance of Bishop. Issue 283. I remember when this book came out. 282 was the book people were hunting for a very long time because he was in the cover. If you remember that one cover with Bishop. And I remember picking it up to find out that he was at the end. And we're like, what's the point of having him in the cover? And then this cover is really not all that in comparison because this is like a side view from the backside of Bishop. So yeah, I agree. It's undervalued. I agree with Norin on that one. It's undervalued. But the other cover is so much better for a cameo shot. So it's like backwards Wolverine. It's backwards Incredible Hulk 181. You know what I'm saying? What's up, E-Man's in the house? All right. But what's your thoughts on Bishop? Do you like Bishop?
I do. I always thought that they could do a little bit more. He you know, in the comics and stuff, you know, he's always kind of a catalyst to these great big storylines. You know, we'll see. We'll see if he has an impact in the new animated series.
Well, so far, I'm gonna say no. They haven't. But then again, there's only 2 episodes in. Yeah. They haven't explained why he's permanently in the team because he's permanently in the team. So we don't know the reason. Yes. That's right, Durs. You voted for Jubilee. I agree. I am with you. We all know Jubilee's the best. All right. So it is cool. I personally like this book. Obviously, there's tons of copies of Uncanny X-Men 283, 282. There's the gold cover, the gold variants. This is when there was only 2 variants. You know, of a book. Woo! Yeah, back when it was a second printing was like, we don't want no second printing. Take that book back. And look at now. Here's another book in the list. Venom versus Carnage #1. This is the first appearance of Pat Mulligan, who later becomes Toxin, who is rumored to be the main villain for the next Venom movie that's coming out. I have seen nothing. I haven't seen photos. I haven't seen. The only thing we know is that it's coming, and it's coming in October from what I heard. I have no excitement over this movie, but it's Venom. So,
it's supposed to be the last movie, right?
Unless it makes millions of dollars. So, you know, Sony, Sony's in a weird place, man. They can't seem to make a movie with Spider-Man good without Spider-Man good. I wonder why. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I've enjoyed the Spider-Man movies. Well, for the most part. You know.
Did you see Madam Web?
No, I'm pretending that doesn't exist. It's
I
nice.
think
It's nice that something's finally worse than 3. But you know,
what about Morbius?
I didn't see that either.
So there's 2. So yeah, I don't know. Let him stick to the animations, man. The animations has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But these live action adaptations are you can't give me Spider-Man. You tease me Spider-Man, and then you do something where it's like everything but Spider-Man, and it's annoying. It's ridiculous. And look, I beat E-Man to it. He says, "What about Mobius?" And he says, "Ah, there we go."
Morgan time. Yeah.
Oh, look at that Robbie Robinson movie. I would be down with that if Sony did it. That'd probably be a good movie. You know, give me King in Black. Not if it's done by Sony. So, all right. Talking about Teen Titans, we're back in Teen Titans. We got Braven Bold 54. This book is the first appearance of the Teen Titans. However, this book they do not name them the Teen Titans. It's just Kid Flash, Aqualad, and Robin. So this is pretty much them together as a team without being coined Teen Titans. We don't get it takes 6 issues before they finally said, hey, they're called the Teen Titans. So my real question, and this is going out to the people in the chat, would you consider this the first team appearance of the Teen Titans, or would you just consider this a team up between Kid Flash, Aqualad, and Robin? The numbers tell me differently, but
I don't know.
Right? This is where it's a little different. When is it the first team appearance? This is the first team up, but is it the first appearance of the team? Because they're not called Teen Titans; they're just 3 sidekicks hanging out.
I don't have an answer for that one.
Yeah. So 3 good nerds, they came up. I haven't seen you guys in a while. They consider this the first Teen Titans. Okay. Robbie Robertson would be a bad breaker. Just as I don't know it, so it's not the first. Good answer. Good answer.
Only it worked that way too.
Whatever Mark says, go DC Guru. All right, whatever Mark says. If Mark's still in the chat, he could answer. He could answer it. All right, let's move on. But this is a phenomenal book. It's definitely a book to have in the collection. All right. So our next book in this list is NYX3, the first appearance of X-23, Laura Kinney, who actually debuted in not X-Men the Animated Series, but X-Men Evolution, which is funny. And that's not the reason why she's in this list. She's in this list because of Deadpool spec. There is a rumor that she is definitely going to be in the next Deadpool movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get to start seeing her in more movies and maybe her own series or movie too.
Yeah. A lot of people are also speculating based on the fact that the NYX series, comic book series, is coming back as well. So that's going to be part of the relaunch of the X-Men titles. So when Marvel does relaunches like that, it's a sign of what's to come on the MCU side of things.
Yeah,
because that seems to be the trickle effect now.
Well, the next Deadpool movie is supposed to set up a lot of that stuff. I think they're deviating from some of their old MCU kind of like timeline. And I think that, there's rumors that X-Men are going to be brought into the universe through Deadpool 3.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. I'm more curious to see how many cameos are in it because they're saying there's a lot. That there's a lot of cameos. As long as we get a good story, I'm okay with the cameos. If it's just cannon fodder, then it might not work. So
now, is the girl that's supposed to either cameo or be Laura Kinney in Deadpool 3? It's the same actress that played her in Logan, right?
Yes, Daphne Keane.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And yeah, I'm with E-Man here, man. He's trolling everyone.
Yeah.
He's making sure everybody knows. It's just the way it is. All right.
I would actually love to see a live action Deadpool kills the MCU.
Yeah.
That would be
I think that's the concept. Instead of the MCU, it's gonna be he kills the Fox universe.
Yeah.
That's what it's technically going at. All right. Here's a book that I'm a little shocked in the list, but I'm so happy he's in the list. It's Nemesis #1. This is the first issue of Nemesis. And Nemesis is pretty much, what if Batman was a villain? That's what Nemesis is, which I absolutely love. It's from Miller and McNiven. And yes, it's pronounced Miller. He pronounced it's Miller. It's not Millar like a lot of people think it is, even though it's spelled Millard. But it is from Mark Miller. I personally love this book. He is 100% evil. And now they're talking about there's a script being written out for Nemesis. So this book right now, what do you have it as priced listed as?
Oh, we've got it at cover right now.
You got it at cover?
Yeah.
If you find it at cover, it's worth picking up.
Sure, absolutely.
So there's your answer, DVH. Why is it on the list? Because there's a script being written as we speak for Nemesis.
See, this is a good example of speculation. Watch this.
This is worth the spec. This is worth the spec. And that's not just that it's worth the spec, it's a good story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cover price is good. # dumb spec. I love Nemesis. I've always loved Nemesis. This story is awesome here. The relaunch is awesome, so it's definitely worth picking up. All right. Back to some more Teen Titans. We got the first team appearance of the new Teen Titans with DC Comics Presents 26. This is the first appearance. Raven, Cyborg, Starfire. It's actually pretty modest here for $250.
That's what we have it at.
Yeah, it's a modest price for this book, especially when you're featuring these first appearances, specifically Cyborg's first appearance, right? Where Raven and Starfire are also big characters, but I would say Cyborg's probably the biggest of all of them because he eventually graduated to the Justice League. Personally speaking, I think Cyborg should always stay with the Titans. He is not a Justice Leaguer to me. That role that he keeps getting belongs to Martian Manhunter. But that's my personal opinion. All right. Booyah! You got it. I'll sell you the Pence variant. That's all you're going to try to do, Taylor Winters, do claim sales on my show? That's all Taylor Winters do is claim sales. Here's another book that's hot because of two things. One, it's hot because of X-Men 97, but it's also hot because there are discussions that Javier Bardem will play Mr. Sinister. Now that I think is heavy spec. Because that
would be interesting. I like him a lot. I don't know if I like him as Mr. Sinister, but
I also heard that he was up for Galactus as well. So you can't play Galactus and Sinister. There's got to be one. It's not that kind of world anymore.
I heard Henry Cavill's name being thrown around for that too.
Henry Cavill's name has recently been thrown around for something else now. So Henry Cavill's name has been thrown out for numerous things now.
Right. Captain Britain.
The Wolverine one is the latest. They're saying that he may be the Patch character in the trailer, but that Patch is way too thin to be Henry Cavill. I honestly believe that version of Patch is probably Daniel Radcliffe. That's my opinion.
That would be interesting too. I don't know how I feel about either of those.
You don't know about Harry Potter being Wolverine?
I mean, it could be
Expelliarmus.
Yeah.
Bub. This book is awesome. The price here has increased because this book has been gaining momentum the last couple of months. What do we have over at Overstreet now?
We've got that sitting at 85 for a 9.2.
Okay, so it's pretty much where it's at right now. Yeah. Our next book here is X-Men 133. This is the first solo Wolverine cover. This is the first time Wolverine gets a cover by himself, technically, where he's just beating up a whole bunch of goons. But I love the colors. I love the color schemes of this one. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, John Byrne. He had to throw in his Canadian kid, being Canadian himself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But so this is also the book that kind of gives us some kind of confirmation that Wolverine has a healing factor. So it's not just the claws. The claws are part of the whole mystique of what Wolverine was. And I say was because I miss the days that we knew nothing about Wolverine. I miss these, don't tell me the origin. Just give me little pieces of it. You mess it up when you tell me everything. We know his name is James. We know, you know what I mean? We knew he had to be Canadian because Canadians would have flipped out if he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Tate Prime X is in the house. How you doing, my man? Speaking of Wolverine, look at that. That avatar is nice. I like it. This is not a key. Which was not a key. It's his first cover by himself. His first solo cover. That's what key collectors calling it. I can't say anything about it. Not my fault. That's what they want to call it. Ooh, now this one stood out. So Web of Spider-Man #1 stood out for me because when this book came out, it was, first of all, it's a gorgeous Mike Zeck cover. I absolutely love it. It's one of my personal favorites. I picked it up not that long ago. I had it before, and I was able to get a nice, cleaner copy. But I do believe this book is here for one reason. Not just because it's a fantastic cover. It is because there's a Web of Spider-Man #1 that came out last week, and I think there was some confusion, or people wanted to get this book as a result of getting that book. So, I think there was a trickle effect with this book, but this book is worth picking up this is one of those cover buy books to me. Because
this is another weird one where we're double.
Really?
Collector's price. We're at 55 on this one.
This book has been relatively hot lately just because people love this cover.
Mm-hmm.
This is a gorgeous cover. So 25. I think you should be able to pick it up for about 25. I know when I picked it up for like 20 and stuff. So I was happy about that. Yeah. Clean 30. Oh, wow. Yeah, because you know what? That's all this book is. I don't know this is one of those books that it came out in 85. The cover is just awesome, but I have no idea what's going on inside.
Yep.
Zero. All right. What's up, Black Spiders? What's going on, my man? All right. No idea what's going on inside. It's just a cover buy. And it was a cover buy then, and it's a cover buy today. All right. Back to the Teen Titans. We got the first appearance of Deathstroke, Slay Wilson himself. All right. This is bigger than Teen Titans 1. So it is the first appearance of Deathstroke. It's also the first cameo of Trigon, but we only get to see Trigon's eyes, which always freaked me out as a kid when I saw that. I was like, oh my goodness, who's that? But love this comic book. This is one of those yellow covers that everybody talks about, man. So what do you think? What's your thoughts on Deathstroke in general? I know he's awesome. That's the first thing.
He's never been one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that if any of the movies or live action actually gave him the time for his backstory and made him less of a generic villain, I've always thought that they treated him a little more generically. You know what I mean?
The only time that they made him really good was in the original Teen Titans animated series that was back in the 2000s that came out, where first of all, they couldn't call him Deathstroke. That I remember that. So they had to just call him Slay. So I remember they called him Slay, and he was always in the shadows. He's in the shadows here. So yeah, I remember Deathstroke in Arrow. The guy who played him in Arrow, it was different. It was a different tape, but I do remember. I thought this guy, Joe Manganiello, I can't even say his last name. I was hopeful. He was supposed to be with the Batman movie that was with that was supposed to happen with Ben Affleck that never came to fruition. He was supposed to be the villain of that. But then again, I never saw Deathstroke as a Batman villain. He was always a Titan villain to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if they make the Teen Titans movie and that's going to happen, it's got to be Deathstroke. It just doesn't make sense not doing anybody else. Trigon, of course, but But we already had we had those characters with the TV series, so I'm a little curious to see that the TV series, which wasn't that long ago. That's why I'm like, I'll see it when I see it, kind of thing. When it comes to the Titans movie, give me all the other stuff first. I want to see everything else first, so we'll see. But our next book here, speaking of X-Men, X-Men Adventures #1, first appearance of Morph. All right. Morph would later then show up in the Exiles. This is a great Steve Lighten cover. I got my copy. I got it right there, signed by Cal Dodd, the voice of Wolverine. But I did not know about this Hungarian lawsuit over the song. Apparently, there's this lawsuit that was filed back in 2019 against Marvel DC. Really, it should have been against Saban, but Marvel DC now owns the rights. And it was a police show in Hungary called Linda. And it was very, the sounds, the was very reminiscent of this TV show. So now they're suing it. So in the new series, the song is still being played, but there's like an alternate version. Yeah, I got to hear this original. So yeah, DVH is like, it's remarkably similar songs. It happens. It's a Whitney Houston song. Now I want to hear that version.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, but fun book. This book I honestly think should be higher in value. The reason why I think it should be higher in value is because when it originally came out, it was targeted to children, and it was a kids comic, right? It was based off of kids comics. Now, Vanilla Ice absolutely didn't steal the Queen song. He didn't steal Under Pressure. You never saw the interview with Vanilla Ice? Their song is din 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 din, while Vanilla Ice's song is din 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 din. That's the difference. I'm not kidding. That's exactly how he said it. But here's another fun fact about the Vanilla Ice song, Ice Ice Baby, is that when they were going to court, it was cheaper to outright buy the rights to the song than to deal with the court proceedings. So they just bought the song. So there's your fact there. All right. So yeah, X-Men Adventures #1 on the list. See, Sony remembers that interview. Yeah. Now I wish I had it in front of me. All right, here's another Adventures. It is Strange Adventures 205, first appearance of Deadman, another James Gunn spec. Because I think, and we talk about Ryan Reynolds and him trolling people. I think James Gunn is doing the same thing. He's just putting things out, and people are just going crazy over it. Because he posted, he did a tweet or whatever you call it. What are they called now? Is it tweet or X? Now it's a thread or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. He posted an image of Deadman, right? And then, of course, everybody sees it and say, "Oh my goodness, Deadman's coming to the DC universe." Oh my goodness, he didn't say anything. He just posted a photo, and poof, Strange Adventures on the top.
That could be a troll.
It is a troll. He's trolling people like crazy, but I think he wants to do that because it actually elevates the comics. So I'm down with that. He's making his own spec, and I love it.
Well, we've got this book at twice what they have.
Oh really?
Yeah, our 92 price is $2,400.
Wow.
Now, one thing about last year's guide prices, this was coming off the pandemic and all of that. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of stimulus money and stuff floating around. Yeah. Comics went up for a while. Mm-hmm. So this may be coming back down in this year's guide. Yeah. We'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
It's safe to say that all these comics are going under the gun. You know what I haven't done? I'll give you something for that one. This one's gonna go out to Comic Verse. This one's for you. Yeah. There you go. What is up, Entropy in Comics? Oh, Beckerman, where you been, Beckerman? Right, a couple of comics. He's got to show dad jokes are strong with you. Oh yeah, yeah. Good luck getting that for 120 in low grade. You might find it. It's a hard.
What is
Yeah,
low mean with key collector?
I guess they're referring to just like I don't know
what
what
like a 4 and under kind of thing.
I don't know. I don't know. I never bothered to look at their scaling system, what they would consider low grade versus high grade. Obviously, high grade would be like the 9s, right?
Sure.
But where would it start? Would it start at 8.5? Would it start at a 9? Does it mean, I would say 9 and above is a high grade. But I don't know where their scaling is. Key collector is just one of those weird things, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Next book up, Tales of the Teen Titans 44. Now, this always cracked me up. So the book was called New Teen Titans. Then they changed the name to Tales of the Teen Titans.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
It was one of those situations that let's change it. And whenever I've read a comic and it had the word Tales in it, in my brain, I already thought of that as a reprint, right? Like Marvel Tales and Strange Tales. Well, Strange Tales wasn't like that, but a lot of the books back in the 80s that said Tales on it really were reprints of previous books, but this one wasn't. This was the actual book, and it's Dick Grayson becoming Nightwing. It's also, we got Jericho, the origin of Deathstroke, $75 average here. What does our Overstreet guys?
We got a 9.2 at 110.
110. That seems to be a little more appropriate, I think, for this book because of the significance of Nightwing, especially now that Nightwing's becoming more and more prevalent. That's another thing they're talking about, a Nightwing movie. It's like, oh my goodness, let him be Robin first. Let's see him transition. Mm-hmm. All right. Now I'm curious to hear what this one's about because this is a relatively new book. This is Taylor's book of the month. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Right? That's a pretty good deal. Oh wow. $20, not bad. That's awesome. All right. Beneath the Trees When Nobody Sees. This is a new book. This book has been out for a couple of weeks now, a couple of months actually now. And I think we're going into issue 4 now. Mm-hmm. See, I knew Taylor was going to say finally a good read. Taylor loves this, man. Do you know the concept of this book?
I don't.
So it's supposed to look like a kid's story. So if you remember Richard Scarry or Busy Town or something like that, Berenstein Bears, picture that, but put in Dexter.
Okay, so it's like
serial killer bear.
Serial killer stuffies. Okay.
Yeah. I found this on the web. Yeah, and there you go. My series says I found this on the web. Yeah, I don't want that. All right. It's a really good book. Dexter meets Richard Scarry. Exactly. 4 came out last week. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, what you got this book at? I take it you might have it at cover price or something.
No, actually, we got this at 50.
Oh, at 50. So there is some. That's cool. All right, our next, and I think this is our final book. And just like I mentioned before, this is Web of Spider-Man #1. This is the brand new 1 in 25 variant. This one just came out last week. It is demanding $40. I actually like this cover a lot. This is the Paco Medina cover of Spider-Man. I like the fact that we have 2 Ben Reillys in this cover. One is the Chasm in the background, and then you got Scarlet Spider, which I thought was interesting when I saw that. And the whole purpose behind this comic book is these are stories that they're planning to introduce in the next couple of months. I don't know if it's like Timeless, where in Timeless they're telling you some of these stories are not going to happen. But this one, it's one of those things. Yeah, it probably will be about $15 in a month. Just give it time. Whenever these new books come out, it's not worth picking them up at the high values. It's a nice cover, but that's what it is. It's a cover.
Yeah, we've got the A cover for $8.
Yeah, it's brand new.
But we've got but this is the F variant, and we've got it the same price. We got it.
Yeah, but it is a 1 in 25, so usually it's gonna demand more because it's a 1 in 25. So there you have it, guys. Those are the books for this week. Woo, that was cool. All right, you ready to do another giveaway? We could do 2 more.
Let's do it.
Let's do 2 more. Okay, so let's go back and let's change this. And let's see what kind of. We'll just do hashtag Overstreet. All right, so we're gonna do hashtag Overstreet as this giveaway here. And let me share that screen there. And for those of you who just came into it and don't know what's going on, we are going to be giving away gold memberships, right? Gold memberships to Overstreet Access. If you win, all you have to do is just contact me, and I'll make sure your information goes out to Shawn, in which he will get you access to a gold membership for Overstreet app, so you can give it a shot. So I'm gonna do 2 of them. I see people going in, and if you already won, then you won, right? So, all right. So people are trickling in. We got 9 so far. All right. Get those Overstreets in there. All right. I always love this, Shawn. Whenever there's a giveaway, somehow the viewership just goes up, like almost immediately.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah, but it's like, are people calling each other or something like that? It's like, how do you know the timing, especially when my show does it at a specific time? So I don't know. I don't get it personally. Let's go ahead and run this one. So we're going to do 2 of them. So we're going to do the first one is, let's see here. Samuel, congratulations, Samuel. You get the 3rd membership. Congratulations. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Let's do this again. Wherever my mouse just went missing. Okay, let's do this again. We're going to run another one. Let's see here. So Samuel. And the adventurous Joe. Congratulations, Joe. You have won the 4th one. Cool. Awesome. So let's stop sharing now. Let's see here. So Shawn, I'm gonna put it in your hands. Let the people know more about Overstreet Access, what new things you got coming up in the pipe dream and things like that, and what we can expect.
The coolest thing that we put out, and we beat Key Collector by about 3 weeks with this. One of the biggest pieces of feedback that we got earlier on, and when we first launched, was that we didn't have a barcode scanner. So we started thinking about that and realized that, first of all, a lot of our demographic is, they're collecting stuff that was pre-barcode. So that's not going to work. You got the janky EPCAs sometimes, or the EPCCs, I think, or A's, I don't know, whichever ones. So we decided to just go ahead and go with the cover scanning route. So we just released a new cover scanner. It's in the app and mobile web. You actually don't even need an account to use it. You can't get any of the pricing, and there's no collection management. But if if you're sitting on a virgin variant, and you're going through long boxes, find a virgin variant, don't know what series it came from, you can just take a picture of the cover and matches it right up. So if it's in the system, it scans. So that's pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor Winden is asking you a question. He's asking you, what's your favorite comic of all time?
Oh man.
You don't have to answer it. It's just Taylor Winden.
I have a real soft spot for Hellblazer. So that was one of the first comic series that I ever collected. So I've got to go with a Hellblazer 1 for that, for sure.
Oh wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, just to remind you, just to let you guys know, this is the old picture. Why am I looking at the old picture? It's this one. All right, this is the new one. Monday night lineup right now. Scotty is about to go on. We're about to go quickly on the poll list, but he's going to have Trish Forster in his channel. She's been there before, but we're going to release the new Pharaoh this week. With that being said, also, That's the book. I changed my mind. I had a different book in mind, but I want to give you guys, I want the winner to get Feral. So we're going to be doing X-Men 97 a little later. Tomorrow, for you Rat Pack members, I'm going to be unboxing a crazy big mystery box from the Immortal Biggie Shadow. It is awesome. Biggie send me the box. I was able to do the video. When we get off of this, I actually got to finish rendering that video. And also, in a couple of weeks, is King Kong #5 over in New Jersey. So if you are in the New Jersey area, come say what's up. We got prints, 50 limited prints of the Austin LeMay 11x17 print of the C3 Comics Curing Cancer with Spider-Man with the purple ribbon. That's going to be awesome. And again, you can support Comics Curing Cancer. You could just go scan this QR code, but you can also support by going to Instagram at Comics Curing Cancer. This year, we're planning to break that $50,000 mark. So that's that, as well as Heroes Con is happening. I will be there as well with booth 1769 over in June in Charlotte, North Carolina. So a lot of good stuff happening there. Whew. That's a lot. That's a mouthful right there. All right. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. So look at that. I'm a big fan of all the original versions. Yeah, they changed comics. They really did. So let's talk about some new comics this week. So you ready to talk about what's new?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna do this quick. So one of the things our group does here when we do comics, people say what they pass on and what they keep. So that's the question of the day. What comics are you picking up this week? What are you not picking on? So some people say what they're picking up. Over at Marvel goes insane. We got 18 books in Marvel. This is not including the variants, by the way. But X-Men 97 #1. So the adaptation of the new series, we're gonna get the comic book. So if it's gonna be anything like X-Men Adventures, you might as well pick it up. You know what I'm saying? The book probably be worth something in about 20 years. Right now, it probably won't be worth anything. Jackpot and Black Cat #1. Again, another book is there. Ultimate Spider-Man #3. Obviously, Ultimate Spider-Man has been hot lately. This book continues, as well as Wolverine 46. Now, Shawn, I didn't ask you this question, but are you collecting new books these days?
I have not been. I've been spending so much time entering in books. I feel like I own all of them already. But.
So one thing I could tell you, the books that most people have been picking up is Ultimate Spider-Man. Wolverine has been amazing. Look at that cover right there. Is a cover that I know my wife will never look at because she hates that kind of stuff. She's like looking at me right now. She's like, I'm not going to tell you what it is. She said, is it a brain? Yes, because you asked. All right. So apparently Sabretooth is doing something with Wolverine's brain. I'm curious. All right. Also this week is Amazing Spider-Man 46, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 18, the last issue of X-Force 50 before the new run comes out.
So are they rebooting all X-Men titles?
Of course.
Again?
So the Krakoa age is over. Which is I'm fine with. And we're supposed to go back to basics. So we're gonna get a new X-Force title. We're gonna get a new X-Men title. I think it's 3. It's gonna be 3 new X-Men titles. So Uncanny X-Men and Exceptional X-Men. And then they have, I think Storm's getting her title. Wolverine's gonna get a new title. X-Force is gonna get a title. NYX is getting a title. And I don't remember who the other ones, but it's 6 new titles on top of the 3 flagship titles. So it's a lot of X-Men. It's a lot of X-Men now, though. All right. Daredevil #7 featuring Wolverine. So Wolverine's been busy. So we got that going on. You got the Incredible Hulk issue #10. Gods issue #6. Superior Spider-Man #5. Edge of Spider-Verse #2. Now, being that we talked a little bit about variants, Edge of Spider-Man is notorious for variants, isn't it?
They all are these days.
I think that's more so than it.
Actually, I got to tell you, Marvel's not the worst.
We know Dynamite's the worst.
Well, they are, but they also, I mean, they have so many fewer issues and fewer titles than some of the others. I gotta say the biggest culprit right now is Boom.
Boom, really?
Oh man, so many variants of Booms, and again, a lot of them are store covers and convention covers, but like,
yeah.
I mean, Marvel gets pretty bad with Spider-Man. There's
Oh yeah,
variants per issue there.
The Disney variant that has nothing to do with Spider-Man.
Oh,
So,
here,
yeah.
let me look this up here.
Let's see here.
Sorry, I'm trying to hurry here.
Yeah, no problem. So as you do that, we're going to go to the next part. We're going to go into Spider-Punk Arms Race number 2, Rise of the Powers of X issue number 3, and Cable number 3 is also coming out from Marvel, as well as Thunderbolts 4, Predator: The Last Hunt issue number 3, and Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi issue number 6. Those are the Marvel books for this week. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, well, we're still stuck on Marvel. What I was going to point out, so new Spider-Man ASM, like the current volume, there's 45 issues that we have in there, or 46 now.
Yeah.
Turn on variants, there's 613. You do the math there.
No, I don't want it.
It's a little unbalanced. I don't know. Taylor, do you want to pop in with this? Snarky comment here.
It's just got to the point. That's what makes this collector's market so difficult today. The modern variants, I think, are hurting the business more so than the 90s comics did. Because the 90s comics, at least it was one comic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These incentives, these store variants, yeah, they're cool and all that stuff, but it's ridiculous that they're making so many variants to the point that I just want the book. I don't need 100 different variants, which are actually hurting the pricing and what's really the price and which book people want to get. Because then you got the regular cover, the trade dress cover, then you had the minimal trade dress, because DC does the minimal trade dress, right? And then you have the Virgin, right? Yeah. Oh, and then you have the black and white version, which is
then you got the foils.
And then you got the foils to go with it's like, it gets to that point that is just, I'm with you, Tate Brown. It kills my love for comic books, and I'm happy that a lot of people are just going for cover A's now. I will admit there are some covers that you just can't pass up on, and that's part of the problem. You know what I mean? It's like, I honestly think it's the slabbing of it too that caused the problem. Because now when you slab a book, there's no way you're going to look at the inside. So it's all about the cover.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of all that stuff.
It makes it a little daunting for newer collectors too to come out here and see that there's 50 different versions of the same book. Like, what do I need to get? Like, which version do I need to get of this book? It's like, oh, you got to get that one or that one or that one. And it's like, if you just want to read it, just read it. Who cares which cover you get, right? It's the truth. So, or go digital. Dare I said it, go digital. All right, Comic Embrace, what's going on, my man? How you doing? All right. Now we're going to DC, and over at DC we got 11 titles. I'm gonna move a little faster for this one. We got Batman Dark Age #1. That's actually a really cool cover. So it looks like a Mike Aldred cover. I personally always like Mike Aldred. His style has always been quirky to me, especially when he was doing Ecstatic. That was pretty cool. It looks like he's doing it here, so that's cool. What's up, Phil? How you doing? All right. Then we got another book. It looks like it's a kids-based book called Primer #1, but that's also under the DC umbrella. I have no idea what this book is about. When I saw it, I was like, okay, it's a DC book, but I have no recollection. And it looks like it's going to be in a large format book, so who knows? A book that a lot of people have been loving lately has been Detective Comics 1083. Ron V's run on Batman has been phenomenal. A lot of people enjoying it. Oh, Mark Russell's writing it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Aldred on the art. I like Aldred, okay? Good guy, Aldred, too. Green Arrow #10 is out this week. Also, Flash #7.
Harley Quinn 38. Now, would you say Harley Quinn is equivalent to Amazing Spider-Man as far as variants go?
No, not even close.
Not even close?
No, I don't think
so. Who's the culprit in DC? Is it Batman?
No, actually. DC's not that bad with the sheer number of variants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really I find myself not complaining about them.
Really?
Other than the fact that they have a whole lot of titles that maybe aren't necessary, but
that's all of them, aren't they? Isn't that the case? Like, how many books do we have in Marvel that are?
I mean, how many current Batman titles are out there right now?
Well, Batman sells. Isn't that the reason?
He does. But
I'm with you. I like a time when
I love Batman too. So don't get me wrong.
No, I like a time when there was 2 books, and you just put them all in those 2 books, and just filler. Whenever you need a filler issue, put it right there. And I'm just an idea. You know what I mean? So, Braven Bold 11, Batman Braven Bold 11, the Penguin 8. Did you catch that trailer for the Penguin yet?
I have not.
Oh, looks so good.
Yeah,
looks so good. Yeah, Colin Farrell is saying to the world, "Oh, you didn't want to give me an Oscar nomination? Well, I'm going to get me an Emmy nomination." You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that. All right, Alan Scott, Green Lantern issue number 5, Power Girl number 7. Now, Power Girl is going to have some covers too, I bet. Power Girl always has some covers because people just love collecting their Power Girl book. And then we have Amazon's Attack issue number 6. And just like T Prime, he's passing all on those 3. Yeah, I probably will too. It's not a really heavy DC week for me. Okay, we're moving on to Image with 12 titles. Now, Image does have some books in the way. Yeah, it's boob windows. I'm with you, boob window. Which brings me to, where is this? Don't tell me. Yes. Brings me to this.
Skeletor to King Randor. Skeletor to King Randor. Come in, you royal boob.
So let's take a look at Pharaoh is the book of the week. I'm saying it now. It is the book that people are going to hunt for. The ash cans have been hot right now. People have been trying to get the ash can. But what Pharaoh is it takes the concept of Stray Dogs, the same concept of Stray Dogs, but they're putting it in a setting like The Walking Dead. So it's the cats dealing with The Walking Dead in some way. That's what I'm hearing. So definitely going to pick that one. If Cobra, Skeletor does deserve his own book, man. I would love to see a Skeletor book. I would love to see an origin of Skeletor, just to see what he looked like before he was a skeleton.
Did you watch the latest animated?
I watched a few episodes and then I just
because they totally gave him a backstory.
I was watching it. With. So as I was watching, I was like, when are we finally getting He-Man? It's like it's He-Man without He-Man. I was like, that's not good.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't tell me we're getting Masters of the Universe back and then not give me He-Man. That's Kevin Smith. I love you, but you screw that one up. Another book that's coming out this week is Sam and Twitch Case Files #1 for you Spawn lovers out there. Local Man Bad Girls #1. I personally like Local Man because Local Man takes the tropes of the 90s and they're putting it out. So that's why we have what looks to be like a Catwoman bite off, a little bit of Catwoman, a little bit of Michael Turner, some Rob Liefeld goodness in this character. The only thing I will say is that this character, she's not as big as previous characters I've seen. She ain't no Lady Death. And then you have another book that looks interesting. It's called Under York. So I'm assuming it has something to do with New York or Yorktown or something. I don't know. Let's see. So Taylor Winder says no origin. Comic Verse says origin. All right. He's not talking. Okay. He's talking about
Yep.
Revolution. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't see Revolution. I saw the previous one. Aren't you the same two that wanted? Yeah, I like Wolverine to be a mystery, but I want to know what Skeletor looked like. That's all. I want Skeletor to look like David Hasselhoff for some reason. Just give me some Jerry curls or something with him. That's all. It's Skeletor. It's no big deal. All right. Duke number 4 is out this week. King Spawn 32. New Bird 16 is out. A lot of people love New Bird. I know that much. And Monstrous issue number 50. Then we have the Six Fingers number 2. Philadelphia number 34. The Dead Lucky number 12. And Knights 6. So even though it's the end of the month, it looks like a lot of the publishers were able to get some books out this week. Dark Horse with 8 titles this week, which includes Ghostbusters back in town. Did you get a chance to see the new Ghostbusters movie?
I have not. I've not.
What are your thoughts of it? I saw it. I enjoyed it. It's not the best movie. Personally, I think it has a lot of holes, but it's not a bad movie. It's worth watching. You know what I mean? So it's definitely worth watching. So they got a comic book adaptation back in town, number 1, even though this group is not back in town. So weird. Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures, Crash Landing, number 1. The Goon returns with Them That Don't Stay Dead, number 1. I see Tate Prime is down with the Goon, so he's going to get himself a Goon book. And The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos, a James Tynion book. That book is also out this week. We got Black Hammer, The End, issue number 6. Masterpiece number 4 by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. I'll be honest, I would look out for Masterpiece because Bendis is he's getting all these properties. I think Masterpiece is running under the radar right now, so you might want to check it out. You probably get it for a really good price. It's pretty inexpensive. So who knows if you're interested. For spec purposes, of course. Quick Stop, Volume 2, issue number 3, talking about Kevin Smith. And Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, issue number 2. That's out this week for Dark Horse. Over at Boom Studios, your favorite company now.
I wasn't being derogatory. I love those guys over there.
Yeah, I know.
They just make me work real hard.
Well, you got another Berserker coming.
Yep.
Berserker, Poetry of Madness, pen and ink. Are they meant to be coloring books the way they make it sound? That they're like coloring books of comics, which I
don't know what those are. I guess maybe, or they're just the pre-colorized artwork. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't get it myself. Anyway, we got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 118, The Expanse, Dragon Tooth issue number 10. That's over in Boom. Over in IDW, Star Trek Defiant 13, Ministry of Compliance number 4. Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures issue number 6. Over at Dynamite, they're light this week too, but you got the Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time and The Great Hunt. Red Sonja number 9. Garbage Pail Kids, Trashy Through Time issue number 4. All right. Mad Cave Studios have a new book coming out this week called Morning Star number 1. I'm curious to see what that's about. I take it has some spiritual implications into it, I bet. Charred Remains number 4. Eden Frost number 4. Over at Titans, Conan the Barbarian number 9. Life is Strange, Forget Me Not number 2. And Forgotten Ruins, Wizards Cult issue number 3.
You had asked me earlier about buying new comics. And this new Conan series is actually one I picked up. And
oh, really?
I love it. It is, I don't know what it is about it. I'm not the biggest Conan fan in the world, but this treatment of him is pretty.
The covers have been phenomenal. I'll admit to that much because that's all I know is the cover.
Well, what's between the covers is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. It's good to know. Over at Oni have Invasion 4, Cemetery Kids Don't Die number 2, Jill and the Killers issue number 3. Zeniscope has Grim Fairy Tales 82, Van Helsing Vampire Hunter 3, Holmes and Houdini number 3. And over in Antarctic Press, you got Exciting Comics 43. I don't know the name of that character, but that's some Golden Age superhero. I'm trying to remember who that character is. Jungle Comics 26. Volt Comics has The Nasty number 8. and End to End number 9. So those are going to be pretty big books to pick up. And over at Massive, does Massive go crazy too? Because Massive, Whatnot, Summer, they're all pretty much the same company.
Yeah, Massive does quite a few.
Yeah, because they're all connected to Whatnot.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that, but they are.
Massive that's Blake's there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You got Zorro, Man of the Dead, Udon with Street Fighter Masters, Akuma versus Ryu. Coffin Comics has 2 books this week: Lady Death Imperial Requiem, Tate No More Comic Journey. Okay. La Muerta, Devious number 1. I remember La Muerta. And finally, we got Distillery Somna. I can never get that name. Somna number 3. Keen Spot Chopping Block number 5. Bad Kid Press with Katie Black Dragon, and Blood Moon Comics with Humbaba. I think that's the name. Okay. And those are your new books of the week. Woo! We got one more account to give out, right?
Yep.
All right. So let's get this ready. So let's see here. What was our last one? Was Early Bird. Our second one was Overstreet. What should our third one be? What the heck? We'll just call it Free App. There you go. And all right, so our next one here is going to be Free App. This is for Taylor Winder now says #dumb spec. We'll do that for the next one. So here's free advertisers. I think it went through, Taylor. That's too funny. All right, this is for the final gold membership that we're going to be giving away. I love it. I think free advertiser did work. All right, the final membership, and then we'll do the giveaway for the comic books. So go ahead, do your #free app for your free gold membership of the Overstreet Price Guide. Overstreet Access, right? It's the Overstreet Access app. That's the official title. From Overstreet Price Guide. All right, so we got 8 entries there out of 20 people that are watching. Let's see. Do we get 2 more? I think that's all everybody here. I know some people did win already. So let's go ahead and do there's a 9th one. All right. I like this one. Appetizers everywhere. That's a nice one. That works. All right, let's draw it. That would be funny if Taylor wins.
Yeah.
Tate Prime. Congratulations, Tate Prime. You won that one. Yeah, exactly. If you won already, you don't need to get another one. It's not necessary. So there he goes. Tate Prime. I love this new avatar. Look at this thing. That Wolverine's he's having one heck of a hair day. Cool. Congratulations. All right. So now we're gonna do our final giveaway of the day. And just because my good pal Taylor Winder said so, we're gonna make it. What was it he said? Dead spec? Dumb spec. #dumb spec. And we're going to unclick that one. Dumb spec it is. That's going to be the last hashtag. This is going to be for the comic books. We're going to be giving away an XMen97 as well as a Pharaoh #1. So those are the 2 books that I'll be giving away today. So get your dumb spec in there now. And Taylor Winder, so he wants to make sure he wins it, so he puts it multiple times. Yo, man, I'm hungry right now because my wife just finished cooking me some food. I could smell it. So I want to end this stream already. Or else I'm going to be having some pork chop. I'm going to be having some pork chops on screen. So good. I'm turning into Joe. All right, we got 11 entries in, 13 entries in. See, I told you they seem to just show up when these giveaways happen. Shawn, they just show up out of nowhere. It was like You know, say shake and bake, baby, shake and bake. You got it. All right, let's get up. Let's get going. We got 13. All right, pork. You know what I'm talking about. I call them. You know what I'm talking about, Freddie. I call them chuletas because they sound so much better when they're called chuletas. All right, the giveaway goblins. Hashtag giveaway goblins. All right, let's see who wins this one. And today's winner is Freddie. What's going on? You see all that, and Taylor Window just couldn't win. Freddie, I know who you are, so send me your information so I can send you stuff. All right, man. We'll talk soon. Yep, pork chops sandwiches. I've never had. You ever had a pork chop sandwich?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've had pulled pork sandwich.
Oh no, take a pork chop like a leftover one. You just chop it up, put some cheese on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Winnie's for losers. Chuletas all day, baby. Chuletas all day. One more time, Shawn. Where can people find you, man?
Overstreetaccess.com.
All right. Make sure you check it out. Overstreetaccess.com. Get the app. It's an app, guys. An actual app that means an app that you could do mobilely, which is amazing that some company like Go Collect and Cover Price haven't done it yet. I'm shocked.
It's a website. The mobile web through the browser is all mobile responsive, and there's also a native app also. So
yeah. Oh, I know about the PSA for pork chop sandwiches. I know about that. I remember now. All right, cool. Well, Shawn, I want to say thank you, but a few people also want to say thank you.
Hey, I think this is it. I think you're about to go home. Okay. Look, thank you.
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 Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I never said thank you.
And you'll never have to. Thank you. I guess I'll see you.
Okay, Shawn, thank you for everything. And everybody else, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next show. Excelsior. And this is where my screen goes black. Don't forget to go check out the Monday night lineup, guys.